I just want to read you something that I wrote, and it came from the inspiration of being around all this wonderful nature that I've been working with for the past couple of years, and being around awesome campers like yourself.
Yes.
So it is called Kids, Deal Yourselves a Better Hand, because we went all in, and the Native Americans called our bluff. Did you know that it is estimated that the world's plant and animal population decreases by 55,000 species each year? And that by the year 2030, 1/3 of all species will become extinct due to human activity. How about the fact that it is 2,000 times more expensive to drink out of a plastic water bottle than it is to use a tap water? Yet we have produced enough of these water bottles to wrap around the earth 190 times. Plastic is made from oil, and oil is also used by automobiles, and we wonder why our gas prices are so high. On top of that, only 2.5% of the Earth's water is fresh water, and out of that, less than 1% is drinkable. People shower with this water daily, and if the entire world took a 10-minute shower, we would waste over 2,100,000,000,000 gallons of water a day. Not all the world has access to water, but if the average American alone takes a 30-minute shower, think about how much water is wasted. And if that's not alarming enough, we are consuming cocoa beans faster than we can produce them, and it is estimated that in our lifetime, the world will run out of chocolate.
No!
That's why conservation is so important. But we don't just need to conserve our natural resources. There's something else that is dropping at tremendous rates in our society, and it is rapidly approaching extinction. It is compassion in our everyday lives. In the 1950s, a scientist by the name of Harry Harlow did a study and found that baby monkeys would choose receiving affection from their mothers over receiving things like food and water. Humans are part of the animal kingdom too, and we have just as strong a need for affection. And although it's cool to see wildlife, we need to realize that people are not exotic animals, and letting our differences camouflage ourselves is not going to ensure our survival. Despite our different appearances, every human being feels the same way. And I want to try and prove that. So if the next statements I say apply to you, I just want you to raise your hand, okay? So how many of you like the color blue? How many of you can tie your own shoes? How many of you have ever had your feelings hurt? And how many of you have made fun of someone else, which is even worse? And how many of you have ever felt alone? And who just wants to be liked and to stop feeling like a clone? Animals have basic instincts. The need to hunt and the need to reproduce. And we can go in and destroy their land, and the animals will try to adapt. But society is losing its will to survive, and there's not an app for that. You see, adaptation is a change you make in order to survive. But adaptation doesn't guarantee that you and I will stay alive. And I'm not talking about our hearts pumping blood through the coursing rivers of our veins, but our loss of inspiration and pain cuts that signal to our brains. Our minds keep on reeling, which keeps our hearts from healing, and the tears that keep on falling no matter how much our knees keep kneeling. Because we thrive at just a mad ground when it comes to death, but it's the movement we should focus on with every single breath. Love should be that movement. It's the only chance that we have left. The world can be such a dark and scary place where the streets are torn and broken, sand is sown on every face, eyes locked on the ground instead of looking up above, singing, "Where's the love? Where's the love?" And they've forgotten what it's like to have a dream. To lift their heads to the clouds no matter how out of reach they seem, but you have the power to change things. And you don't need to be a billionaire like Batman was, or an alien like Superman to fight for justice or a cause. You just have to believe. With heart, anything can be achieved. Believe it or not, you are going to run this world someday. So when it comes to what it's like, you have just as much say as the rest of us did. But don't tell yourself that you can't, that you're just a little kid. You must be kidding if you think that the kids don't stand a chance. Being a kid is the key, and it passes in a glance. You see, adults, they grow up, and they let life worry them about. They forget what it's like to run around outside and shout. They forget what it's like to let their imagination get them by. They grow up so fast that they let their innocence run dry, but just like Peter Pan, we never wanted to grow up. We never wanted to stop believing in things like make-believe that made us believe in belief, but you know what? I do believe in fairies. That the first laugh of a child goes skipping across the Neverlands, and whenever I get scared, I still want someone to hold my hand. It's up to you to help us to believe again. To know what it's like to have an imaginary friend. To look at a hillside and see a mountain worth climbing. To look at a tree branch and know that that's a tower where the evil king is holding the captive princess, and you have no choice but to wield your sword, hop on your mighty steed, and go rescue her before it's too late. And adults, don't think I'm not talking to you. That isn't true because you too can be young again. The fountain of youth is something that's found within, so stop searching for a solution. Your inner child is your solution. And you may be getting older, but the world can stop from getting colder if we stop turning every shoulder just so we can watch our own back. It's up to us to show our youth how to act, to instill in them the values that we teach them from the start, the ones that we once learned and yet have all let fall apart, respecting one another, no matter how much they put you through. And remembering that you are rubber and they are glue, so whatever they say sticks to them because it bounces off of you. Because while sticks and stones can break our bones, but words can always teach us. And I'm sick and tired of all the fighting over money, land, and Jesus. Preaching isn't the problem. It's the fact that we're reaching out our hands and we are opening them up for people to grab a lifeline. Telling people what they don't deserve before they even commit a crime. You see, love is patient, love is kind, love is beautiful, and love is blind. And it's time we stop talking facts and we start taking action. Together we can start a revolution to bring some peace before pieces of this institution of hate and of hurt and of the lies and all the greed. We can stop the suffering because love is all you need. To stop the hibernation of this liberation of our nation, and to stop the procrastination of the investigation of our frustration, and to learn to embrace each other without a single hesitation. To show every single girl that she is powerful. To show every single boy that he is beautiful. What you are is beautiful. So next time you look in the mirror, smile. Because you've got the you in you. And there will never be another you as long as anything lives. So you might as well be loud and proud, give the best that you can give. But don't let those differences be your defeat. There are billions of people around you that are drumming to your beat, so don't hesitate to grab their hands and dance. To go out of your way to take a chance on someone. To take things head on and bare feet and not gun. Don't deny your destiny, because it's up to you to rescue me. Because I am someone who's in distress over how this world is such a mess, and you put the hope in Hero. And the freedom in what it's like to dance like no one is watching. And the joy in singing loudly and pretending like no one is listening. So never let your eyes stop glistening at the wonders life can bring. You see, I figured out that the world is like a snowflake. It's so intricate and fragile and can break so easily. But you should never be afraid to stick your tongue out and taste it. Because your world will shatter. As if you didn't matter at all. But the best part about the fall is struggling to learn how to fly. So next time the situation seems impossible, like you've got no ground to walk on and no hand to hold, just close your eyes. And when you open them, know that all of those colors are yours for the taking. And remember that no matter how much your heart is breaking, rain can wash away anything if you let it. So put on your rain boots and splash in every puddle. The smallest things can touch our lives, no matter how insignificant or how subtle. So sketch a loved one on the inside of your eyelids so you remember to smile always. Keep laughter sitting softly on the lobes of your ears to fondly remind yourselves to dance to the beat of your own drum once in a while. And whenever you hold hands, let a note slip from your lips and fall to the lines of your flesh so you know that you're not alone. That your fingertips are the bristles of a brush. So go ahead, color the world, paint the sky. And that your smiles can make the Mona Lisa blush. So let them shine. All you have to do is try. Because life is too short to ever stop dreaming. But reality is too provincial to ever stop sleeping. As long as I breathe, I will never stop believing in you. So dream your biggest dream. No matter how wild and crazy it may seem, wish on falling stars, even though they're just meteors in disguise, and realize that you have the power to move mountains, but you also have the power to keep those mountains exactly where they are. Your voices may be small, but don't let that be an excuse. Just like the Grinch learned from the Who's, love is always louder, and you all should be louder too. Thank you.